When you work with lights in Maya, there are many times when you'll have a lot of lights in the scene and you'll need to manage them in one place. The best way to do that is to use what's called the light editor. Now, here I have a scene that has just a handful of lights in it. So you can see we have one, two, three lights. And if I want to, I can look at that in the outliner here. So we have a spotlight, directional light, and another spotlight. Now, I can manage these lights by just clicking on them in the outliner, but the light editor is actually a better way to do this. So we can find this under Windows, Rendering Editors, Light Editor. It's also in the interface on the status line, so it's this little icon that looks like a light. So when I open it up, it brings up the light editor, and each light in the scene has a line. So if I select Spotlight 1, that would be this light here, and I can change any of the attributes of that. I can change the intensity of the light, I can change the color, I can change exposure. Now, exposure is an Arnold specific attribute, so it's not going to apply here. And then also number of samples for the light. I can change this for really any of the lights in the scene. So if I select Spotlight 2, I can dial up the intensity or dial it down. I can change the color of the light. And these are all really just things that show up in the attribute editor anyways. Another really nice thing to do is to be able to isolate lights. So we have these buttons here. We can disable a light, so that turns this light off, or I can isolate it, which means show just that particular light. So we can, for example, go here and isolate the light that just comes through the window and creates the shadows. And I can adjust that. Let's say I wanted the shadows to be brighter or not. I can certainly change those. Now notice how when I toggle these, we also toggle this value here. So this is another place to do that. Now in addition to this, I can also create lights. So I can create lights from this panel here. These are all standard Maya lights. And these are all Arnold lights, which we will get to. And then we can also group lights if we want to. So if you want to organize your lights by area or something like that, you can do that. So go ahead and play with the light editor, and I'm sure you will find it valuable. It's a great way for managing lights in complex scenes.